Right, we're going to work through the 2022 maths paper. So the first thing here, foreign exchange. Now usually I'd be saying do Fed. This isn't going to work because they don't say €1 is equal to. So another method is kind of like a box method. So what you do is you line up your dollars below each other and your euros. So say our dollars there we've got. Now here it says buys a laptop for $699 plus a shipping cost of $30. So our total dollars there is $729. Now you could work that out individually. There's $1, and then my exchange rate is 90 cents. So what I'm looking for is the cost in euros. So anything I'm looking for, put in an X. Now all I'm going to do here is cross multiply, and that's always going to work. So line up one currency below the other, and then cross it. So what have we got? 729 by 0.9 is equal to 1x. You multiply those two together, you get 656 and 10 cents. And that's in euro. Next one, Jane has an annual gross income. Remember, gross means the fat. That's the big income that'll be advertised. She pays income tax on her gross income at 20% on the first 44,300 and 40% on the balance. So what we have to do is the first part of our income, 44,300, gets taxed at 20%. And when you work that out, you get 8,860. It says the balance. So to work out the balance, you subtract 56,000 minus 44,300, and you get 11,700. So that means all her income has been taxed at two different rates. So protects those in the lower income. Work that out, you get 4680, and then you can add the two together to get the gross tax. The fat tax, 13,540. Now you just see that's not what the question asks. It says the income tax at 20% is your 8860, and at 40% is your 4680. She's tax credits, so it's like a wee voucher they give us back. So what we need to know is your gross tax minus your tax credits equals tax paid. So our gross tax there, we worked it out up here, is 13,540 minus my tax credits of 3,300. I'm going to work that out. I get 10,240. That's how much tax they paid. I want to work out the take-home pay. There's no USC or anything mentioned in this. So it's just 56,000, my gross tax, minus my tax paid. That'll give me my net income, or my take-home pay, €45,760. Next one, Maeve's team plays a match. They can win, draw or lose. Fill in the table below to show the 9 possible incomes when Maeve's team plays 2 matches. One is already done. So the first one there, you just fill them in. So we've got a WW, a WD, and a WL. Here we have a DW, a DD, and a DL. Here we have an LW, an LD, and an LL. Maeve thinks that each outcome is equally likely. Based on this, find the probability that when Maeve's team plays 2 matches, they win at least one match. So win at least one. So here they're winning at least one. Here, 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 and here. So how many have I got? I have 5 out of 9. If you like, you could work that out using a long-winded way. So you could be saying there, what's the probability of, got all your probabilities. It's a win and a win, or a win and a draw, or win and a loss, or a draw and a win, or a loss and a win. And you just add up all those probabilities, and you get 5/9. Maeve's team plays 5 matches in a competition. work out the total number of possible outcomes. Not probability, how many outcomes for these 5 matches. Now it says up here that there's 3 possible outcomes. They can win, draw, or lose each game. So she's got 3 outcomes for one game, and she's 3 outcomes for another, 3 outcomes for another, 3 outcomes for another, and 3 outcomes for another. Now that's the same as saying it's 3 to the power of 5, and work that out. You get 243 outcomes. Maeve's team plays 11 matches in the league. The table below shows the number of goals that she scores in each of the 11 matches. Work out the mean. So one of our averages, the old school way of saying average, that she scores per match. Give it to 1 decimal place. So you just have to add them all up and divide by the number of matches, i.e. our 11. When you put that on your calculator, you get 21 over 11, which is 1.9. Complete the pie chart below to summarise the data, showing the proportion of their games scored 0 goals, 1 goal, and so on. Label each sector and the size of the angle. You've got to show any working out in construction lines. Now, I'll not be able to do the construction really as such, but I'll show you how to work out each size. Say we worked out 0 goals. What have we got? How many times we got 0 goals? 1, 2. 2 at 11. To work out the size, multiply it by 360. You do that, you get 65.45 degrees. For 1 goal, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be double that previous answer. 4 at 11 times that by 360, 130.9. 2 goals, 1, 2. So we get our 65.45. 3 goals, 1, 2, once again. And then our 7 goals, must have been like United v Liverpool or something. 1 out of 11 by 360. And we get 32.73. You could add up all those angles, that'll give us 360. Let's say I'm not going to be doing this properly, but just say straight line, 65 degrees maybe, like that. That could be 0 goals. And then 130, see there's 90, could be 1 goal. And then I have another 65, I don't know, another one, and so on. So I've got 2 goals, 3 goals, and 7 goals. So you should know how to use a compass to measure those. Now I'll do number 3 here as well. The point is coordinate 6, 2. So there's Q, 6, 2. Write down the coordinates of P. P is -1 on the X, 3 on the Y. The equation of the line PQ is that. Using this or otherwise, find the coordinates where the line crosses the y-axis. Now when it crosses or cuts the y-axis, x is equal to 0. So in here, I'm going to let x equal to 0. Work out your y, 20 over 7. So that means my point there, xy, will be 0, 20 over 7. Something less than 3. We know that's right, because if we join, or look at that line between P and Q, it is less than 3 just about. So 0 and 20 over 7. New roads being built through 6-2. On the coordinate diagram, it will be a straight line which is perpendicular. And once I see perpendicular, I'm thinking slope, and it's opposite slope. Turn it upside down, change the sign. PQ. Work out the equation of this new road. Now, we're given PQ to be x plus 7y is equal to 20. To get its slope, we're going to use the equation y is equal to mx plus c. That means get y on its own, and the number in front of x is 1. And y is equal to minus 1 over 7x plus 20. So my slope there is minus 1 over 7. But I had a highlighter there. So my slope, minus 1 over 7. Now to get the perpendicular to that, turn it upside down, change the sign. So it becomes 7 over 1, which is the same as 7. So there's my point, 6, 2. And my slope is 7. Label it x1, y1 and m. And fill it into y minus y1, m times x minus x1. And it does say put it in this form. That just means get everything to one side. So I'll move my 7x and move my 42. Now I've got feck all room here. And I'm whispering as I say, because the wee one's sleeping. And when you have kids, you'll appreciate a good night's sleep. Now, the next thing. The distance PQ in the diagram is 7.1 centimetres. 5 mil in the diagram represents 100 mil. Use this to work out the actual distance. So, I'm just going to write down the conversion there. 5 mil is equal to 100 metres. Always good to bring it back to 1. 1 millimetre is 100 over 5, which is 20 metres. And what I have is 7.1 centimetres, which is the same as 71 millimetres. So we times that. When you do that, you get 1420 metres. It says give your answer in kilometres, divide that by 1,000, 1.42 or 1.420 kilometres. I'll do that one. The one I want to do is this one here. Question 8. So, first one, work out the size of angle C. Now, I can see my triangle here. So they actually give me two angles. And once I have to work out the third, I can just use the fact that I add them two together. It's 90 degrees because of a right angle. And then take it away from 180. Alternatively, what I've got is a right angled triangle. Working out this angle here, C. I know the base is 154. And I know opposite it there is 220. So if I'm not using Pythagoras, I'm writing down OHA. Opposite me there is 220. My adjacent is 154. And then if I think of my rhyme, Oliver has a handful of apples. I'm using tan. So tan C is equal to 220 over 154. To get the angle, do a bit of shifting. Tan inverse 220 over 154. And you should get around 55 degrees as well. I have it written down somewhere. 55 anyway. So two different ways. Mary works out the horizontal distance between two buildings to be 154. Use the theorem of Pythagoras to work out the distance marked y. Now everyone should get that. So you have a triangle. There's 220. There's 154. I'm going to work out x, or I'm going to work out y. It was there actually. So Pythagoras says the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. Work that out. Add them two together. To work out y, then it's the square root of that. And you get 269 to the nearest metre, which is what it asks. So don't round it unless it tells you. and use trigonometry to work out the value of, say, the height of the building. So the total height of the building, we already know this is 220 here. We just need to work out this bit at the top, and it's a triangle. So anywhere you see triangles, why is this not working? My battery's dead. Typical. So you draw out a triangle anyway. You have 220 or 154 in the bottom of it and 20 up there, and label your opposite side to 20 as x. Then you'll have O over A, so it's going to be tan. So tan 20 is equal to x over 154. Bring across your 154 and you'll get x to be 56.05, and then add that onto 220. So I hope that helps. Maybe not, when my pen typically dies. I might actually be able to draw it. No.